Double XL up in the pen, you can't shake that. All the way gassed up, full tank, man. Moving too quick, keep the cameras in the playback. Dang, so tell me how you feel with it. You put a lid on it, I ain't got no chill with it. This right here your problem, you gon' have to deal with it. Lay it on the line, high risk, that's the meal ticket. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at, never fall back. No lies, no facts, we gon' stay right where we at. We ain't never fall back. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. We ain't never fall back. And you can find me where I'm at. We ain't never fall back. Been way down, never falter. Came with the hands out, get them off us. I'm 24/7 in the office. Pay attention cause I ain't repeating offers. Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need a hassle. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at. We ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at. Never fall back. We ain't never fall back.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new role of online shopping with the Finn's Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Finn's Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Good morning. Now you guys can hear me, can't you? I brought the wrong guy in. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is another episode of Top of the Tailgate for you. I am your humble, sort of embarrassed host this morning. Color commentary. I just did my whole intro, and you guys didn't hear a dang thing. That is freaking awesome. But that's how it goes in the show business sometimes here on YouTube when you got a bunch of amateurs like us running the show. Gosh, that's how it is. But it is currently now 6:11 in Southeast Florida, the Palm Beach County area. Weather today is going to be nice and clear, but windy. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Winds out of the east-northeast. Pretty strong. And traffic is probably pretty heavy, so make sure you are turning around and going the other way if you're in the 305 area. As you heard in the promo, you can hit us up. You can hit up Fanatics with the link in the description below. Make sure they know we sent you. Backroom collections for all of your custom needs for memorabilia, your office space, your man cave, whatever you need. Make sure you're hitting up Backroom Collections. Hashtag TFTG for 10% off. And of course, W Energy drinks. All smash, no crash. And you will be able to hear it. Shake has done a review on a starter pack with all its flavors. Check out Shake's review for W Energy drinks, keeping you up. And of course, all of the great content here at the Finn's Tailgate. You can find El Capitan, who just dropped another film video for the debacle that was Sunday night, and it's officiating, let's say questionable officiating, which continued last night in the Buffalo Bucks game, if you didn't notice, all over the place. The Bills struggling to get that game done and in the books. Problems all over that team. I don't care what anybody says. Lackluster performance. Josh Allen's about to lose his shoulder. So keep checking that out, because, you know, there's problems going in Buffalo, and it ain't going to be going on much longer there. Make sure you're catching us all. El Capitan, myself, co-hosting with Ali, sometimes filling in and talking to myself for the first 10 minutes for having brought the wrong version of me in. And, of course, myself co-hosting with Ali in the mornings, jumping around all over the place. Ali with Late Night Exhale on Saturday nights, bringing you the hype for Sunday morning game action. Shake Money with the drive time and Smoke Lounge. Lewis, the Rabid Dolphin, helping him out. And, of course, KP running our fantasy league this year. You can catch the show for that on Saturdays at 11 a.m. That would be tomorrow. Catch up the latest on what's going on with the league. And, of course, Crypto Mondays and Thursdays, giving you an alternative perspective towards how things go in the NFL and our team. And, of course, TMI Tuesdays with Tonk 7 on Tuesday nights at 9:30. We try to keep it on the rails, but it usually doesn't work well that way. Great show. Awesome time. Tonk does a great job, you know, reminding us about other things besides football and all of that. And, of course, if you'd like to support the channel, make sure you're hitting the like button, first of all, sharing this video, and subscribe to the channel, because subscribing allows you to hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live. We might drop random news breaks, news briefs, breaking news. One of them being, for instance, like Tyreek Hill, not actually injured, likely will play Sunday. So that's cool to find out. And you will find that out at the Finn's Tailgate if you got your notification bell hit. You can also support us with Cash App, $, the Finn's Tailgate, and Venmo, the Finn's Tailgate. Plus super chats and super stickers are live. Memberships, 3 different levels. We've got a whole bunch of members in the chat this morning. Good morning to you all. Miramar says thank you. And we all appreciate your support. And I believe that is all I have right now. For our housekeeping, it sounded way better the first time around. I really wish you guys would have heard it the first time. I finally got my intro down perfect. It was moving right along, clipping, and I realized, wait a minute, there's no ring around my avatar. That means you guys probably can't hear me. And sure enough, there you go. So good morning to everybody who has the patience for us. Bill's fake crowd noise coming in. First one in chat this morning saying, God damn. Of course, Crazy Dolphin, a.k.a. Mr. Paul, coming in with the good morning wishes. Heather Long, good morning, Heather. I've got my coffee. I don't know. We got to try to wake Ali up, but maybe if I talk loud enough, he'll hear me. Hey, wake up, Ali. I know you got YouTube on in the background. That's okay. We'll carry you through. I'll find something to talk about. You know me. We'll go through a little news. You know, it's Friday. We'll talk about the game. I mean, ain't much to talk about. We just got to take care of business and beat the Patriots. Keep pace with being ahead of Buffalo. The more we win, the easier things get down the road. And of course, you got Ryan AP in chat. Trucker Sean joining us this morning. Good morning, Trucker. I thought I saw Carla in here this morning, but I guess not. She's done with us. That's okay. Everybody will be back around. Good morning to Shekel. How you doing? I heard basketball season started. I'm not really into basketball too much, Ryan AP, but happy basketball season to those that do watch. Yep, so let me get a banner up here. Hit the like button. That'll work right there. Okay, cool. As the promo told you, you can hit the links in the description below for all of our partners. Make sure you're checking them out. All kinds of great stuff to be found at Fanatics and Backroom Collections. Keep yourself up all night with the W energy drinks. And we will start with the wonderful news. I guess you could call it wonderful. Tyreek Hill returns to practice yesterday after missing Wednesday's session because of a hip injury. According to Omar Kelly, there's league-wide curiosity about what the Miami Dolphins' top-ranked offense would look like without Tyreek Hill, but it seems the NFL might have to wait. The NFL's leading receiver and touchdown catcher participated in Thursday's practice a day after being limited by a hip injury, which seemingly flared up sometime during or after Miami's 31-17 loss to the Eagles Sunday. While his participation was likely limited, the fact that he'll practice during the Miami's heaviest work day of the week hints that it's possible the 4-time All-Pro and 7-time Pro Bowl selection will be in the lineup for Sunday's home game against the New England Patriots. But there is a slim chance the Dolphins could still decide to rest Hill for a week, considering Miami has a much-anticipated November 5th game against the Kansas City Chiefs, Hill's former team, up next in a nationally televised game that will be played in Deutschland, a.k.a. Germany. So he goes on to talk about Claypool and everybody else. Holland was wearing a red jersey. He'll have to participate in 2 straight practices without suffering a concussion-like symptom to exit the NFL's concussion protocol. If Holland does so and is cleared to play, he'll become the first NFL player in the 2023 season to play a week after suffering a concussion. So it is likely probably be without Holland. Hard to tell at this point. But if Holland doesn't receive clearance to play, Brandon Jones will likely serve as the safety paired with Deshaun Elliott. Finns also have Nick Needham and Elijah Campbell as options to replace Holland, who leads the team with 51 tackles in 7 games. Did see Alex Ingold in attendance, who skipped Wednesday for the past 3 weeks because of a foot injury he's nursing. And guard Robert Jones, who missed Wednesday's practice for personal reasons, and tailback Raheem Mostert, who is nursing an ankle injury. Cornerback Xavier Howard and center Connor Williams, who are both nursing groins, participated in their second practice of the week on Thursday. Both were held out of the Eagles game and were limited Wednesday. A second straight practice from both starters could be a good indicator that Howard and Williams would be cleared up to play against New England. Missing Thursday was cornerback Cam Smith, who's nursing an ankle injury he suffered in practice Wednesday. So there's the latest injury report going into the weekend. Yeah, and I mean, I don't necessarily want to address it, Shekel, until it becomes a need to. We can't control everything everybody says. All we can do is advise people. Remember that there's other people here listening that maybe don't want to hear all that. So, and move on. I mean, that's all we can do. We try not to, within the YouTube guidelines, we try not to control people's speech. And I know there's certain words and phrases in this English language that go beyond free speech. I understand that. And I certainly, I understand that, members especially would rather probably not be attacked personally by panel members, so I'd just like to remind everybody, because typing is also words. Just because somebody's I like interacting with all you guys, and I don't mean to do this right now, but I really like interacting with all you guys and gals. And, communication in the form of me reading your comments and everybody interacting with each other is no different than sitting up here on a panel and talking to me. It's no different. So I would just like to take the time to remind everybody in chat to please respect people. Please respect the people you're chatting with. Respect the people up on the stage, on the panel. And I would also like to remind everybody that comes up on our panels, you all are also guests. And I would ask that everybody up on our panels shows each other respect and shows everybody in chat respect. If somebody's not being respectful in chat, and you're up on this panel, just ignore it. Block it. You have the ability to block it. Everybody says stay out of chat, this and that and the other, but y'all are here and you all follow us everywhere. The chat is our audience. And so I'd rather not panel members go in like that on audience members, especially members of the channel. And I know all I'm asking for is respect. I'm not asking for any special treatment for members or for anybody. I think everybody should respect everybody around here. And if you don't, just bounce. And, we can't always get to everybody and everything and every issue. And things happen fast on the show and all that and whatever. And so for the offense, I would apologize for the network. At the same time, not everybody handles heckling as well as others. So you guys have to remember that too. Let's just be respectful to each other, both ways. Panelists up here towards the audience members and chat and audience members toward the panelists. If you're just a straight troll, bounce. And if you want to come around and bother people and you're a person that's bothered by it, block that person. You can easily personally block people on YouTube. You don't have to see their comments anymore. And, I'm not trying to excuse anybody. But we are not the proprietors of this platform. We are guests of YouTube. And we all have a responsibility to adhere to their guidelines. Otherwise, we don't have the show. We don't have the channel. I mean, it is simply a matter of that. It's that simple. We're not censors, but at the same time, there's only so much time in a day. And so you do have to choose what you pay attention to and what you say. And so, yes, we all have to censor ourselves. There's not enough time in the day to speak every thought that comes through my head. We do it naturally. So I would just ask people, if you feel like using phrases and words that are obviously going to rub people the wrong way in the larger picture, i.e. YouTube, please refrain from using those phrases or words. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody culturally. I really don't care what people say out of their mouth. I really don't. But I do care when people are disrespecting each other, because you can do that with soft words as well. They're called Victorian insults. So I just want to remind everybody, please continue to be respectful to each other. Both ways. A panelist up here on this panel is no different than a chat member. They're just using their voice instead of their fingers. And I'm not going to have people on my panel that are going to conduct themselves with that level of immaturity. I'm just not going to do it. As you noticed, I don't sit around and run panels much anymore, and that's because of that. Because we end up taking the brunt and taking the fault and taking the credit for everything everybody says up here. And I'm tired of fighting it. So you're either going to be respectful to each other or you're going to bounce. One or the other. And I will promise to those who are offended by anything that's been said on recent panels up here, I will promise you, at least for my own show, that I will not be entertaining people with that level of immaturity going forward, even if that means I'm the only one up here talking and I never have a panel. I've had to take the last 10 minutes now to address this, because adults just can't be adults. This is not our platform. I don't have a server farm full of servers to host out videos like this. Otherwise, you could say anything you want to each other. Have at it. Let's all have a melee. But that is not the case here. You have vicious people all throughout this community waiting to take down our platform. In case y'all didn't notice. Has nothing to do with dolphins. It has to do with jealous YouTubers that can't stand somebody else starting another channel. And those people are waiting. They're literally sitting there with bated breath waiting for this type of stuff to happen. So it's going to stop one way or another. And I hate to have to use this show to address it, but obviously it was the first thing written in chat this morning, and some people have been mentioning it in chat, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to go ahead and address it. at least for myself and any show that I'm associated with on this platform, the Finn's Tailgate, I'm not having any more of that. There's no reason for it. Nobody needs it. We're at almost 6,000 subscribers. If you feel the need to be that guy, to be that girl, to be that troll, we don't need you here. We don't need your money. We don't need your donations. We don't need nothing from you. We've got 5,800 other people ready to consume our content. And Trucker, I know Trucker says, I don't even know what happened. And it really, it's a moot point at this point as to what actually happened, because we haven't deleted anything. So you could go back and look, or, you could go back and watch. I'm not going to draw attention to it or point it out. But apparently, there was some conflict going on a show the other night, and there has been a few people, including members, that didn't appreciate it very much, and so they're letting their voice be heard. And I can't say I disagree. At the same time, people in chat have to remember too that you guys are also human beings. You're not just bots. And so you can't just say whatever you want to people without expecting a reaction. So for those that are turning around after trolling somebody and getting a reaction that offended them, I'm sorry. Crocodile tears. And I'm not going to sit here and take sides. I'm going to bounce both people that are being disrespectful to each other and to this platform and to YouTube. And I don't really care at this point. If you call me a censor, I don't really care. Y'all don't know me. I'm a First Amendment purist. But there's an old saying, something I learned from watching Star Trek. Just because a person can do a thing doesn't mean that person should do that thing. Just because we have freedom of speech doesn't mean we should always exercise it. It's called self-control. It's not called censorship. It's called self-control. There's only so much time in a day. There are millions of words in the English language. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know if there's millions. Point remains. We don't speak every single word ever created by mankind every day, which means we inherently censor ourselves every single day. So I'm encouraging people to help keep this channel going, keep this channel respectful, and keep the channel growing. And please moderate yourselves. You all know what words people don't want to hear, what words people aren't allowed to say in this society. Y'all are aware of the PC rules, which I don't even believe in. But the point is, just be respectful to each other, and we won't have to deal with all this all the time. Let's get back to football. Fins up, everybody. How about you like that? How about this? Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa, Xavier Howard, among others, unhappy with the hard knocks in season. This according to Joseph Salvador over at SI. It was announced Monday that the Dolphins will be featured as the in-season Hard Knocks team. Obviously, we all heard that. And two of the squad's biggest names didn't hide their dismay at the selection. When Tua was asked about the news Wednesday, he paused for 11 and a half seconds before saying a word. That's probably my reaction, he said, according to the Palm Beach Post. Miami star cornerback Xavier Howard was less subtle. Hard knocks is bleep, especially during the season, Howard said. No, I'm serious. I'm not a fan. I don't know what the expletive was. But yeah, apparently I can only imagine. Teams often reject the opportunity to be featured on the famed HBO show because of the unwanted distractions, attention, and drama on and off the field. It could be especially concerning for a Miami squad looking to make a Super Bowl run. The Dolphins currently sit atop the AFC East at 5-2, and HBO's cameras will start rolling after the team plays the Chiefs in Germany on November 5th. So what do y'all think about that? I don't care myself. But at the same time, I've never known a team to be able to do anything with distractions of any kind. We couldn't even handle, a team member bullying somebody else without our whole season going off the cliff. Yeah, he probably said hot dog water. Exactly. I don't think it's actually that big a deal, but at the same time, I just never have known any team that was on a real run to want anything to do with that type of distraction. Mike McDaniel was told us that before the game against the Eagles, he told the team, if we win, get ready for all kinds of hype and all kinds of spotlight and all kinds of distractions. If we lose, get ready for being told you're fake and frauds and all kinds of distractions. His point was, I guess, there's distractions either way. But obviously, the team didn't want to deal with those distractions. And I don't want to say that we're, it feels like we're afraid of success or nothing. But at the same time, I've never known any team to thrive with distractions. I just, any positive or negative distractions. It is what it is. I feel like nobody would want to watch the show if they weren't expecting some kind of implosion. Like, why would we care if like what's the drama involved or appeal involved if we just do our thing and win? Nobody's going to tune in for that. They're going to tune in to watch a dumpster fire. They're going to tune in to watch a car accident. They're going to tune in to watch an implosion. And the producers of these types of shows know very well that's what it's about. And it has nothing to do with wanting to capture success on the way. It has to do with wanting to capture failure. That's what sells. Failure. And so I just cannot imagine. I'm right with the players. I cannot imagine there's any good come out of this whatsoever, other than a whole bunch of people making money that ain't me. I don't know. What do y'all think? Am I overreacting? Plus, it's the first time a in-season show's been done like this. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we don't even know that we can't even think of at this point that could arise. I mean, statistically speaking, how many people with these types of distractions, how many teams are really in contention? Why aren't they following the Chiefs? They can't spend, they can't go 2 minutes in a football game without showing Taylor Swift. Obviously, she's a moneymaker, yet for some reason they're not following that team where they can get way more glimpses of Taylor Swift because they don't want the distraction for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're like suckers. It's like here you go, Miami. You're the big dogs, so we're gonna follow you. Oh yeah, that's what everybody does. No, that's not what everybody does. The big dogs ain't being followed by cameras like that. Kansas City don't want nothing to do with that kind of stuff. You know why? Because they're a championship organization. The NFL doesn't want it for Kansas City because the NFL knows. They know. They're not dumb. They can look at statistics just like we can and say, okay, this many times there's been a Hard Knocks. This many times it's been a distraction for that team, and they've gone nowhere. And I'm not talking about, somebody say, oh, well, the players, they're good, great players, and they're, this and that. But there's only 8 players on our team that can handle that kind of limelight. The rest of them are guys like you and me that are happy enough to be in the league making their $1 million, and they don't want nothing to do with that. They can't handle somebody following them around with cameras like that. Not everybody is Tyreek Hill with their own podcast and all that. You know what I mean? Good morning, Ali. You just came at the right time because I jumped right. My voice is about to go because I haven't sipped anything yet this morning.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, man.
Oh, that's okay.
Let me tell you what happened. So my alarm goes off.
What's that?
So my alarm goes off, right? And my spirit woke up, and it was probably all around these parts, but my body did not wake up at all. I don't know what happened, bro. So I'm really sorry about that.
That's all right. I figured it wasn't canceled yet, so I might as well go with it.
Yeah, if you're up, bro, and this ever happens, just go with it, and I will be there. I'll end up.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured.
So good morning. How's
45 minutes late to the show. His own show.
It happens. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all right.
How's everybody doing?
I haven't been very. Oh, by the way, Ali, I did my entire intro for the first 10 minutes, and I pulled the wrong guy in. It was my cell phone guy, so the audience didn't hear any of it.
Oh,
and it was great. I was jamming, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get noticed this morning by some network exec. I mean, it was really good. I was really feeling it, and nobody heard any of it.
Oh shit. Oh man, that's funny as heck.
So I had to do it really quick, and it all sounded crappy when I actually did the rundown.
Shake money in the house.
Good morning, Shake. Look, he's ready to go this morning already. He's like,
oh yeah,
up and at him.
Yeah. How's everybody feeling, man? Everyone was all worried. Oh, there's no Tyreek Hill. He's out. He's gonna be out for a long time. What are we gonna do? Oh my god! And look, we're always ready to play, dude.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Until we know the de facto he's out, I'm not worried. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought. I mean, and nobody ever said he was going to be out either. That's the funny thing. When Poupart and Omar talked about it on their show the other day, Poupart made it very clear. Look, there's nothing saying he's going to be out yet. You know what I mean? Like everybody just ran with that, assuming he was going to be out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It trips me out like Tua sneezes. Oh my God, he has a cold. I told you he was injury prone.
Exactly. How many games is he gonna miss? It's like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro.
and I thought about it. I'm thinking he injures his hip. There was no indication of it during the game. They didn't get any guidance on it at the presser after the game. So where'd he injure his hip? And then he comes out and says, yesterday or something, that he wanted to spend time with the family.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that's the retro answer. So that's spending time with the family caused the hip injury, if you catch my drift.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Pulled a little muscle in the hip, trying to trying to add to the family, maybe.
Yeah. As far as we know, he could have he wanted to go dancing or something. He went to some salsa dance place or whatever. And after salsa dancing and you're dancing all night, you may have like some sore hips. That could have been that could have happened. Who knows? You know what I mean? I don't know. My point is that everybody jumps the gun. Let alone, I wasn't worried, bro. With or without him, we still win this game. I don't care.
No doubt. Quickly before you take over completely, Ali, just wanted to say hi to a couple latecomers in the chat. Brian's Brains, Dolphin Thirsty, how you guys doing? Finn's Rule. We see y'all, man. But yeah, so I had already I had just I went over the article about Tyreek Hill being whether he'd be cleared to play or not. Still up in the air. But according to Omar, it looks like he's probably going to be a go. And then I read through about the article about talking about a couple of the players not being real keen on Hard Knocks coming in the building. So that's where we're at so far. Other than that, I did a little, weather.
So why don't you and Shake Money just hold it down for 2 minutes? I need to grab my coffee, bro.
Sure thing, man. Sure thing. Shake.
Yes, sir.
You got going on this morning, man?
Bright and early. You're by yourself, so I figured I'd give you some company.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Man. But no, I want to also address what you were saying. Yeah, I agree. Like, for instance, me, I'm not saying nobody's thin-skinned, but me, I don't give a flip what people say in the chat. But some of the people who are on the panel are a little different, and they, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Not that they're thin-skinned, but it's they feel obligated to, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I just wanted, this idea that the chat is a bunch of soulless people that are just, not everybody's a troll. You know what I mean? Our chat is our audience. You know what I mean?
I started off in this community as a troll. So
right. But even so, I mean, the chat is still, those are just the audience members that feel like typing something to us. They're not, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the back and forth between the panelists and the audience members, and then it gets to the point where both sides are saying things that YouTube wouldn't appreciate very much. That's at which point we have to remind everybody, just be respectful to each other, because there's no reason for it all. You know what I mean? And if you don't like being in chat, don't be in chat. If you're up here on a panel and if you don't like things said in chat, don't pay attention to them. And likewise, if there's a panel member up on the panel that you're like, I can't stand this guy, hey, we'll catch you on the next go around. You don't have to, you know what I mean? We're not, we're not like, oh gosh, we're not like your typical network that's like, oh, I have to have a viewer no matter whether it's positive or negative or whatever else. No, catch us on the next show then. If you know what I mean, we'll still be here for you when that person's not on the panel anymore or whatever. You know what I mean? But let's just remember that there's certain things that we all have our own principles, but platform is hosted by YouTube and they have their own principles. And that's who the host is. And we have obligations as guests, to conform to their guidelines. And that's just the way it is,
Obligations? You got to be kidding me. I thought we were here for football.
Telling you. I thought we were just here to eat up all their hard drive space up in them data servers. You know what I mean?
Oh, my Lord. Yep. That sounds about right. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody in chat. I see Trucker Sean up in here.
Yeah.
Finn's Rule, what's up, man? I could see the light. How's everybody doing? You know, it was funny. It was really funny, Color, that it was yesterday that we heard the news that Tyreek is out or whatever, you know, all that stuff that was going down, right? It was actually day before yesterday. But then we talked more about it yesterday morning. And who was coming out of the woodwork? All these Buffalo Bills fans. What the one guy that hadn't been around all week, Josh Allen is the next Brett Favre or whatever his name is, or Elway or whatever, because he keeps changing it. He even came out of the woodwork. I'm like, really? Just because Tyreek's out? Listen, I thought about this when I was standing at the coffee machine. The Buffalo Bills have not figured out how to sweep or how to beat the Patriots on the regular, where we have. We've been doing it for the past couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as long as we have our starters, we win this game, no problem.
Yeah, I think we're 3-1 in the last 4.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Them.
Yep. Like I said, Tua is 5-0 against Bill Belichick. Come on, that is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
By the way, that would mean that we are actually 5-1 in the last 6 meetings.
Yes, in the last 6 meetings we're 5-1. The one is that Tua was not there.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
At the end of the year last year in
Yeah,
Foxborough.
I think we started Teddy, and then ended with Skylar Thompson, or Skylar Thompson started. We ended with
something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Real quick, I thought of a new name for Josh Allen as the next Carson Wentz.
Mm.
How about Josh Allen's shoulder is the new Carson Wentz's ankles?
Okay. All right.
I told you all. Started with an elbow. Now it's a shoulder. According to the network last night, he could. What they were noticing, after he hit a touchdown or whatever, he couldn't. When he was doing high fives and handshakes, everything was low. He couldn't even lift his own arm up to high five people.
Well, interesting.
He's playing through pain, and I'm telling you, just saying, man. Josh Allen's shoulder is the next Carson Wentz ankles. Yeah, and I'm laughing about it. How do you like it?
There you go.
So,
the article that you read was the one that Tyreek will be cleared to play Sunday against the Patriots. That one?
Correct. And then the other one I read through was Dolphins standouts bemoan impending intrusion of Hard Knocks cameras. Those are the 2 I've gotten through.
Where did you see that one?
Oh, that's on SI. If you scroll down, it's the first one under more stories by Joseph Salvador.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, yeah, I go to the Miami Dolphins page on that site.
That's
right.
That's where I'm at right now.
Not the main headlines. Right?
It's all right. It wasn't the main headline. That's why I was like, where did you see that one? I didn't see that one. Anyway, let's actually talk about the main headline right now, which Tyreek explains why Tua is NFL's MVP so far. Right? Tyreek Hill did his best to end the debate over who is most responsible for the Miami Dolphins' offensive success. In his latest It Needed to Be Said podcast, the NFL's leading receiver said that there should be no discussion about whether it's him or Tua Tagovailoa who deserves the most credit for the NFL's top-ranked offense. Tua is the franchise quarterback. He's our guy. He is the engine. He is the guy who makes the team go. Everybody knows that, said Hill, who missed Wednesday's practice because of a hip injury and was limited on Thursday. I'm telling you, he went dancing. He's the guy that can make every pass on the field. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are. He is kind of correct there, Color. I'm going to stop reading for a moment.
Yeah.
He is kind of correct because without Tua making this pass as perfect as he did, the ball's never going to get to Tyreek to make the catch. You know what I mean? The hard part is making sure he spotted the ball right. So that's why I'm going with Tua. Without Tua, I don't really think this offense clicks as well. You know what I mean?
So in other words, Scummy, we haven't cut Tua yet.
Yeah, Scummy, we haven't cut him yet. So yeah.
If it was the engine, we need a mechanic.
Yeah, maybe actually, I think we kind of do need a mechanic because I think there's a player or so that may have an oil leak. No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to go with it. It made sense in my head, just not in real life. Sorry. All right, let's keep it going. So he goes on to say, according to Hill, Tagovailoa is the MVP of the NFL for 2023 because his team is off to one of the NFL's hottest starts. Tagovailoa possesses the league's most productive offenses through 7 games, and Tagovailoa is the league leader in most passing statistics. Even with the loss, you guys realize that even with the loss, he leads most statistics and is one of the most productive. We have one of the most productive offenses still. You know what I mean? He has an NFL best 110.4 passer rating, and if he finishes this season with the best passer rating, he'd become the 3rd player to do it in back-to-back seasons since 2000, joining 2 first ballot Hall of Famers, Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers. I want to point that out. He would be the 3rd player to lead the NFL in passer rating, right? Since 2000, joining Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famers, Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers. I just want to put that in perspective, right? That's the company Tagovailoa is keeping in his 4th season as a starter if he continues on this pace. Both those quarterbacks were named the NFL's MVP in seasons they posted the best passer rating. So where does this leave the 6-time Pro Bowl selection, who is on pace to break Calvin Johnson's record for most receiving yards in a season, achieving his personal goal of becoming NFL's first 2,000-yard receiver? ? I'm just the energy, baby. I'm the guy that brings life. I'm the guy that gets players up. I'm the hype man, basically. Hill said, he's the artist and I'm the hype. I'm just here to support him. Without Tua, none of this would be possible. I'd still be crushing it a little, but I probably wouldn't have had the same numbers. So shout out to Tyreek, telling everybody that though he's the hype man, he's not the one that's making it happen. It's Tyreek. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree?
I think he in that analogy, he's like Tua's paintbrush.
Yeah. No, and that analogy is like, me and Colin, we're not parents, but it's like when I see those parents, when the kids bring home the artwork, oh yeah, it's the most beautiful artwork ever. Here we go. When the kids walk away. God damn, that kid. That's the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
Hey, listen, I mean, if I'm okay with it, bro, if Tua's Picasso and Tyreek's the paintbrush, hell yeah, let's do it.
Or it's like when somebody shows you a picture of their baby and it's ugly and you're like, oh yeah, that's the cutest baby I've ever seen.
I mean, if but behind the closed doors, he's saying, yeah, goddamn right, I'm the fucking reason they're doing this.
Yeah. You know what? I would just thought of that.
I didn't
hold
expect
on.
that to go where it went.
Color. Are you telling me that Tua is a swan with that analogy?
I don't know what do you mean by that.
Because think about it. Tua, at first, it's a really ugly duck,
Oh, right.
I got much, isn't good at anything, blah, 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 blah. And then it starts to develop, and then as it gets older, it matures into this beautiful thing known as a swan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Swan ducklings are ugly as sin. They are, right? And lo and behold, they turned into this beautiful swan, and that's what we've seen. The first 2 seasons, it wasn't very pretty, you know, it was ugly. He
And
wasn't
he was
playing
kind of
for
being treated like the ugly duckling too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was definitely being treated as the ugly duckling. And then look what happens, right? Boom. He starts to, grow his feathers in, starts to look pretty. And now we
Mhm.
have this finished product, dude. It's like the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, holy crap. That's what I'm saying. You know, and I don't really care what the Buffalo Bills fans have to say around these parts because they sit there and blow smoke all day long about Josh Allen. Let me blow
Yeah.
smoke about my Tyree or my Tua Tagovailoa, right? I don't care at this point.
Mhm.
Listen, Tua Tagovailoa, the guy is a great quarterback,
Yeah, I agree.
right? He's starting to show that he's elusive in the pocket. He's not afraid to stay in the pocket either, like some quarterbacks who see
And he
ghosts.
don't give up, bro.
He doesn't give up.
The biggest thing is he don't give up, man. With as much
Yeah.
of heat as he's taken
You know,
throughout the career and what so far, I mean, and he
mm.
just shows up every day. What do you
Yeah,
gotta
the guy
respect it.
shows up. The guy keeps a positive attitude. You know what I mean? And the guy puts the ball in perfect spots. And people. I was watching ESPN the other day, and someone was complaining about him being a spot thrower. And I was like, "Do you realize how hard it is to be a spot thrower in the first place?" I've tried it. I've tried hitting the same spot over and over and over again. It's not as easy as it looks. I'm sorry. So give the guy some credit that he can be that accurate and that consistent over and over again. You know what I mean? And the guy in every game, the guy does something that really impresses me. You know what I mean? So I don't care. This is my quarterback. Somebody play that Terrell Owens meme. That's my quarterback. That is my quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah.
Mm.
By the way,
So,
is that the scummy coffee mug?
yeah, you can say. Yep, my Michael Myers coffee mug. I'm going to tonight. I'm going to the drive-in. Going to be watching Halloween, the 1978 Halloween at the drive-in. So it's gonna be pretty dope.
Nice.
So, yep. Oh
So
God, look at Scuffy.
you're gonna wait till tomorrow night to debut what your game attire is gonna be for the game Sunday.
I can do it now. Hold on a second. I'll be
Well,
right back.
I didn't want to steal your thunder if you had a big
No,
reveal planned tonight or
my
tomorrow night.
my daughter's coming into town unexpectedly.
Uh-huh.
Not unexpectedly. It's kind of a surprise. So I think I might actually wear. I don't know if I'll be able to do the full show like I thought. So I'm gonna actually debut it today. Let me go do that. I'm gonna go backstage. I'll be right back.
All right. So while we wait for Ali to go put his makeup on.
Wait. What I'm gonna do when I come back is I'm going to take myself off camera for a moment, and I'm gonna intro it. So let me know when you're. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
This cat does not know the meaning of personal space.
Who's that?
My cat.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, the universe is their personal space. Don't you know? We're invading it.
Mm-hmm.
We're the invasive ones. It's like, how dare you put this keyboard down and try to use it,
Well, I'm here. This is my mattress. Wait.
It's exactly.
Come on, Lana.
So what you got planned for this weekend? Nice boring game going on. I mean, I don't mean to downplay the game, but
yeah,
at the same time, I mean,
well,
gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I got the whatchamacallit. All right, here we go.
No, go ahead. I'm just give me a second.
Okay, no, I'm gonna be calling the Gator game at 3:00. And then of course I'm gonna be meeting Larry K and Anthony Piolucci at the game Sunday.
Oh,
Larry
that's
K's
cool.
coming down. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's the only reason I'm at the game is because of Larry K. I wasn't planning on coming, but once Larry K said he was gonna go, I'm like, you know what, I gotta be there. I gotta be there.
Yeah, I'm trying to conserve energy with this one this week. I mean, unless somebody buys me a ticket and compels me to go, I wasn't planning on it.
Just give me 2 more seconds.
All right.
Yeah, I've been have such a turnaround time these days going to a game, man. It's like I'm hurting clean into Wednesday nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And the last game was, we had such a good turnout because it was fan week and all that. The last home game, it was like, I spent a lot of energy that day. Shout out to everybody that showed up, turned out. Got to meet a few of you that I haven't met yet.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
I know Adam Sadowski said he's going to be at this game. So.
So that was the Adam S. we met that day, right?
Yeah.
See, I thought there was another Adam S. that was separate from Adam Sadowski, but now that I know that was actually Adam Sadowski, cool, man.
Yeah, same thing with Trucker Sean. We met Trucker Sean. Yeah.
Yep, Trucker. I remember meeting Trucker.
Oh, yeah, there's a few people on my bucket list I still want to meet. Of course, Mr. Polk is one of them.
Yeah, let's see, who else
All
did
right.
you have? Like Kyle Roberts came by. You had, I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Joe Rist.
Okay, I'm ready. Color, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
I
you.
can.
Okay. All right. So hello. Here we go.
that Scummy?
No, it's not Scummy. I wasn't trying to rip him off either, but Michael Myers happens to be my favorite horror flick type of thing or whatever. So I decided I was gonna modify a Michael Myers mask
with Dolphins colors,
a Miami Dolphins kind of fan, and I'm gonna wear it to the Patriots game because that's the game before Halloween, so it made sense.
Right on.
Yeah. So, I kind of thought about it a couple different ways. Me and my friend were trying to design it, so I went with the whole yin and yang effect with the orange and aqua kind of thing.
So let me get your. Let me ask you this, being that you're Mike Myers fan.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of Rob Zombie's version?
It's not a true. Okay, let me take this back. Let me take this a different way. All right. It's not my style. I don't like it. And for me, it's because that really wasn't a horror movie. It was showing you a picture into a psychological. It's more of a psychological thriller than it is anything else.
Yeah.
And the reason
like how the guy became what he is, right?
Yeah, and they made it into this psychological thing, and at that point, it's not scary anymore because you already know the reason why at that point.
Right, right.
I like the 1978 Halloweens up until a certain one, I liked the originals because you didn't really know the reason and the why he was the way he was. It was this
Right.
unstoppable, mysterious force known as the Boogeyman, right? And how he creeped up on people and killed teenagers and whatnot, and he was going after this specific one, and you don't know why, right? That's what was so scary about it, and how he would come out of the darkness and stuff like that. You don't see that in the Rob Zombie version. You see this ginormous monster, right?
Yeah.
And he's coming through walls, and there's no creeping up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I liked it though, but hey,
Yeah.
each his own.
So where it kind of killed it for me was number 3, Halloween 3 had nothing to do with the original series.
Yeah.
The original idea was that every year after that a new Halloween movie would come out and it would be something else.
Mhm.
But
More like an anthology series instead
Yeah.
of right,
yeah,
right.
but what happened was
Which is why the second one was about something totally way different,
Yeah, well,
Which I actually like the second one in and of itself, apart from the Michael Myers story. You know what I mean? Like I
You mean
like
number
the second
3.
one as a horror flick.
You mean number 3 because
Was
number
it 3?
yeah, it was number 3. Number 2
Yeah, you're
was
right. It was 3. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
right.
number 2 was a
Season of the
continuation.
Witch. Right.
Yeah, because number 2 was a continuation of the first movie because it
Right,
was
right.
still the same night. Still the same
Right,
night.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Then part 4 came out, and that's when part 4 was pretty good too.
Yeah, that was the return of Michael Myers. But basically, it was after I want to say the 4th or the 5th one. After that, it killed it for me. I
Right.
didn't like it. Number 6, I didn't
Where
really
it
care
became
for.
more about the Jamie Lee
H2O.
Curtis character than it did Michael Myers, right?
Well, no. It's because they tried to provide a storyline of why
Right.
Michael Myers is the way. Like number 6, it basically ended in the sense that he has this curse on him, and the curse passes from person to person or
Right.
something.
Right.
Right?
Well,
I didn't like
the
that. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
they did
Well,
that
the
with
irony that-
they did that with Friday the 13th. Remember?
Right, and that's what
Yeah.
I mean, Ali.
Yeah.
And doing that with trying to create the backstory, it ends up
Yeah.
just becoming about the Jamie Lee Curtis character, which
Yeah.
is something that they did with the Jaws franchise. They ruined it too with Jaws 4. They made it
Yeah.
about this shark has a issue with their family, and they're
Yeah,
it's
yeah, because
following their
he
family.
went after the son and everything.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
irony is, who is the actress in number 4? The same thing, Jamie Lee Curtis, bro.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't in Jaws 4.
Yeah, that was Jamie. Wasn't that Jamie Lee Curtis? Come
No,
on.
it's the original actor from the original Jaws, but it's not Jamie Lee Curtis. I know my
could have
horror
sworn
movies. I
Jamie
like
Lee
Jaws
Curtis
too,
was in that
so-
one.
Yeah.
Well, True
He
Lies
was-
was about Jamie Lee Curtis.
What was
True Lies.
True
Bro, I'm
Lies?
pretty
Ah,
sure
yeah,
Jamie
true,
Lee
true,
Curtis was in Jaws 4,
But,
bro. Jaws Revenge.
Going back to the Halloween series, H2O was okay. It wasn't the Rob Zombie style, which I didn't care for, but it was actually it was not bad. It was okay for a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Could have been better. Then they did this one after H2O. It was called
Which
I
one
wanna say
had
it's
Busta
called
Rhymes in it?
Revelations or something
Yeah,
like that.
One of them had
Busta
Busta
Rhymes was in it. Busta Rhymes was in it, and it. I don't know. It was at certain parts it became a comedy in a sense, so I don't really care for that. The newer Halloween that they did in 2018, and they did Halloween Kills. Those two are really good. I like those. Halloween Kills isn't bad either because he's still creeping and killing people, right? And there's a lot more. A lot of people want to see more kills. They got that. Halloween Ends, that movie was just garbage, bro. It was so bad that the actual company that owns the Michael Myers and Halloween franchise, they actually just re-upped the movie rights and everything so they could continue to they're gonna basically redo the last 3 movies, basically, I guess. I don't know. It was such a debacle, bro. The last one, but
by the way, the actress was Lorraine Gary. She does look kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah.
I was gonna say
that's
that.
right.
I'm looking up. And Karen Young and
Right. It for some reason I thought it was her. She looks a lot like her back then, like that lady did in the movie.
Yeah. Jaws was a good movie. That's a good one to watch too.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody said was here. I never seen one, but everybody tells me part 3 was the best one.
Is that the SeaWorld one?
I think so.
Yeah, the SeaWorld one was cool. I thought that one was cool. I like the original.
I think that was Jaws 3. Yeah, Jaws 4 would be Jaws Revenge.
Yeah, that's the one where the guy's out in the Bahamas or someplace like that, and he's doing some marine biology stuff. Yeah.
So he goes to SeaWorld and he kills a bunch of people at SeaWorld?
Yeah, they were opening up his SeaWorld and they had the first great white shark that was in containment, because I don't know if you know this, but they have not found a way to contain a great white shark in an aquarium. It's next to impossible. They usually end up dying. They don't know. I forget there is a reason behind it. But that's basically what the whole premise was. And
yeah, remember they had that underground walkway that ended up the shark ended up like busting into it.
Yeah. There's that new movie, The Meg, but that is not even it's not even a scary movie.
You know, I really feel bad for today's generation. We had movies like Jaws. They've got Sharknado.
That's actually not today's generation, to be honest. That was the generation before.
No. Yeah, actually, there was there was a movie with Samuel Jackson. He was giving a speech, and all of a sudden, the shark just came up and ate him. It was Samuel Jackson, LL Cool J.
Blue Water? No, something water. Dark Waters or something?
Yeah.
Deep Blue. No, Deep Blue. I think it's Deep Blue Sea. Hold on one second. I know which one that one's not bad. I mean, they made a sequel that was absolute garbage, to be honest. So,
but I remember Samuel Jackson giving a speech, like a pep speech, and all of a sudden, Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember Samuel Jackson giving a freaking speech, whatever, and all of a sudden the shark comes and eats his ass.
Yeah, leave it to IMAX to give us the correct answer, right?
Jason Statham plays in a movie called The Meg, right? It's about the megalodon, and it starts off really good, and then it becomes kind of cheesy, and they made a sequel, and it starts off good again. And then becomes cheesy.
If I could make a suggestion, you all need to stay away from the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, true.
I thought, man, Sci-Fi Channel, because I'm into sci-fi my whole life, right? You know, and I'm thinking, wow, finally a channel for me. But it ends up just becoming the worst movies ever made in the sci-fi genre. It's like nothing blockbuster.
Manolo Rivera. No, we're not. This isn't a movie channel. We're just or a movie show. We were talking about some movies because of my game day mask that I'm gonna wear to the Halloween weekend game. So that's the only reason why. Anyway, and I don't know if you guys could tell in that video.
Talking about Ace Ventura if they're complaining, you know.
I don't know if you guys could see it, but the hair is spray painted orange also.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's pretty dope. Anyway, let's keep it going. I want to go to the next article here, so let me bring that up here and talk about this. Let's actually. Jalen Ramsey says report claiming he's playing against Patriots is premature. Damn it. I was hoping he'd play too. Miami Dolphins cornerback Jalen Ramsey challenged a report that said that he's set to make his season debut against the New England Patriots. The Dolphins' top offseason acquisition then used his social media account to explain his concerns about the ESPN report before admitting he hopes it's accurate. So this is why I just got a crazy amount of texts. Ramsey wrote on X, which is new name for Twitter in response to a report from Adam Schefter, who claims the 6-time Pro Bowl selection will be active for Sunday's 1 p.m. home game against the New England Patriots. Well, this is news to me, wrote Ramsey, who had the meniscus in his left knee surgically repaired nearly 3 months ago. Don't care about being right. They don't care about being first in today. I'm sorry. Explanative. Don't care about being right. They care about being first in today's media. That's sad, according to Ramsey. Ramsey will conclude his second straight week of practice on Friday, but his participation has been limited during every session. Last week, he was part of Dolphins' scout team helping the offense get prepared for its opponent. And Miami's coaches named him the defense's scout team player of the week, whatever that means. This week, Ramsey's been working with the base defense and is auditioning for a contributing role in the secondary that's viewed as the weak link of Miami's defense. It's logical to conclude that if he doesn't suffer a setback and gains the medical clearance needed to play, that he'll play on the field on Sunday. Full transparency, there's a chance that I can play this Sunday, but that decision generally isn't made yet, so that is news to me. Just like it is to y'all, Ramsey said. I have to go through a whole process to feel great enough to play. I won't play if I feel any less than great. I am a glass half full type guy, though. So I'm claiming a great 2 days for my body in hopes to turn up come Sunday. Ramsey continued, I must have looked good in practice today. Teams have rave reviews for Ramsey. That seems to be the sentiment from his teammates, many of whom helped him celebrate his 29th birthday this week. That's right. Happy birthday, Jalen Ramsey. Very impressive how he runs with our fast guys, how he transitions in and out of breaks with them. Quarterback Tagovailoa said he almost mirrored the receivers while our guys were running full speed. And for him to break down a dime the way that they break down is very impressive. Ramsey has consistently attended team meetings, position meetings, practice, and games, so he's fully invested in what the Dolphins have been doing and is mentally ready to step in on Sunday. That what's fortunate for us is that although he's new to this team, the crossover in the scheme is huge for him. Coach McDaniel said about Ramsey, who he's pulled down 19 interceptions for 7 fumbles, recovered another 2, and produced 2 sacks in his 108 regular season games he's played. He's actually the most experienced player in the defense that we really have from his years from LA, which coach Brandon Staley and Raheem Morris running the same system that Staley obviously used with Vic Fangio in Chicago. Whether it's this week, next, or a month from now, simply having options at cornerback and safeties will benefit a secondary that's had to rely on journeyman special teams contributors like Eli Apple, Justin Bethel, and Perry Nickerson for the first 7 games, as at times has struggled. To make room for Ramsey on the 53-man roster, Miami would likely have to cut 1 player, and it'll likely be a cornerback considering that unit has 8 players on the 53-man roster without Ramsey. Opposing quarterbacks have a 100.3 passer rating against Miami, which ranks 7th worst in the NFL. Only the Denver Broncos 114.2, Los Angeles Chargers 105.6, and Cardinals 102.5 and 101.0. Tennessee Titans, Buffalo Bills, and Minnesota Vikings have the worst rating. Hear that, Buffalo? Your secondary is worse than ours. I'm just going to point that out there. Worse than ours. He is progressing well, practicing more this week. We'll see how that turns out by Sunday. Defensive coordinator Vic Fangio said of Ramsey, anytime you add good players to our team, it will change. It should be a benefit both from their production and what it allows you to do schematically. So, gentlemen, what do you guys think, or who do you guys think that Ramsey will replace in the secondary? Will it be Perry Nickerson? Will it be Justin Bethel? Or could we just kick Eli Apple to the side? What do you guys think?
Well, Apple was the guy we brought in to temporarily make up for him. So that would,
That's
you
true.
know, and he is
I mean-
also the one probably playing the worst.
Do we know that for a fact? I'm curious.
Well, I don't
Anybody
know.
have his PFF grades?
I thought
Good.
Perry Nickerson actually looked pretty good. You know, he was locking things down. I think even
Justin Bethel has been good. I don't think it's going to be
Bethel-
Bethel at all. I
Yeah,
don't think
Bethel's been a decent tackler, but you also got that guy we traded Noah for,
Mm,
and he's actually been doing all right when a couple times they've thrown him in. I think against Buffalo he had a hard time.
yeah.
But I think that was the first game we threw him into any action.
Is there another room where we have abundance of players that we can kick someone off?
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is Chris Greer specifically said that they brought the guy they traded for Noah to be a slot guy because they needed a slot guy.
Right. The other rooms that might have a lot. I mean, tight end, we could probably bounce Tyler Croft.
Yeah, Tyler Croft.
Has he played at all?
No, not really.
'Cause Julian Hill's been holding it down, right?
And Julian Hill apparently is kind of moving into Smite's territory, you know, challenging him. So,
Well, it's not hard to challenge another tight end when you don't really use the tight ends at all.
well, that's the thing, and it's challenging in blocking, I'd imagine. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I already have a player that Scummy would like to cut to make room for.
Yeah, I guess we should have asked Scummy. You know, he's got the temperature of the team, you know, down pretty good. So,
Yeah. Listen, would you guys be okay if Ramsey doesn't play against the Patriots? I want to see him
I
play,
would be
bro.
okay.
I want to see him, but that doesn't mean
I'd be
he
okay
has
with
to.
it, but it's the perfect game to get him back without all the hype and fanfare. Which,
Yeah.
you know, if he comes back for Kansas City and there's a whole bunch of fanfare involved, he likely has I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just going too much on patterns and all that. But whenever a player comes back from injury, a good player, and he's all hyped up, oh, his first game back. If it's against a good team, you likely don't hear nothing out of the guy in that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen,
I'd rather him just get the rust knocked off and all that against the Patriots, and then boom, it's like everybody, you know, like they're having a game plan for him, you know, next week, as if he's already been on the team the whole season. You see what I'm saying? And it's not like, oh, it's not a big focal point.
Yeah,
because that's when players coming back really thrive and have good games, is when they're not the focal point in the media. You know what I mean?
By the
I'd
way,
say get the hype and all that out of the way this week would be a good idea. But go ahead, Shake.
No, I was saying I want to save him for the Germany game, and I want him to be on Kelsey like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, right, exactly. You want him to be Kelsey's side piece, huh?
Yeah, that's what I want, because in order to cover Kelsey, you need a big, strong, physical person. And I think he fits the bill.
And fast.
Yeah. Because
so we may see him get peppered in this week if things are going really well. You know, we may see him get peppered in towards the end of the game.
They were saying in the Philadelphia game that the Miami Dolphins is the 10th worst team covering tight ends.
I can see that. My eye test I probably would have guessed about that, Shake.
Yeah, I agree. You know, what is kind of interesting. We talked about how last week we were talking about how Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins are built very similar, right? They even run similar schemes in defense and even in offense, right? Notice that they used Dallas Goedert a few times, and then they went away from him for some reason. It's like they don't even use their tight ends. It's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't they stick with it? It was working. You know what I'm saying? Color.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. It worked the first couple times, and then they were like, "All right, let's go back to the run and let's go try this." And I was like, "All right." And then I figured they'd come back to it. They never came back to it. I was like, "Okay, I guess
Well,
they're
that's
kind of
what
like us."
see. My theory, Ali, is that the Philadelphia crowd was still coming back from the concession stands on that first drive where we had success in the run, and it may have to do with the fact that we could, the whole idea that our quarterback is helping the run game by snapping the ball at the most opportune time for our blockers and all that. That's predicated upon being able to hear, and all that. So that gets disrupted in really loud environments, I'd imagine. And look, my theory is a theory, but at the same time, it could be that it's evidenced by the fact that both of the games we lost were in ridiculous raucous crowds. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm saying it's like, hey, there's something we need to fix there. We need to figure out a way to keep getting our signals out and all that, even in those types of environments. That's something we need to work on and fix, because that seems to be an issue. Sharif keeps pointing it out, but everybody wants to ignore Sharif, but he's absolutely spot on. There are things we do that Tua does that helps our running game, and it's hard for him to do those things when the crowd is that loud.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Bill's fake crowd noise says, "Are we going to witness a Chase Claypool origin game?" I hope so. Primarily because we need someone else besides Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and company to step up. We need someone to step up and break out, create another dimension to this offense that will make defenses rethink their strategy against us. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, part of the issues that we had on Sunday night was because they kept stopping the run. You know what I mean? That's a dimension of our offense. You know what I mean? So you took that away, you made us more one-dimensional than multi-dimensional. So I hope to God that happens. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what else I got to talk about here. You already talked about that. Here's an interesting topic. I've been talking about this lately too, and questioning it at least. This is an article by Alan Papar. Top draft picks biding their time. The Miami Dolphins are in the midst of a successful season, one that offers a lot of promise looking ahead to the playoffs, and they're moving along without many contributions from their recent draft picks. When it comes to top pick of last two drafts, Channing Tindall and Cam Smith, that contribution has been practically non-existent except for some special teams work. And it doesn't look like they're going to change anytime soon based on what defensive coordinator Vic Fangio said Thursday morning when he indicated that Smith sustained an ankle injury in practice and that was likely to side him later in the day, and that Tyndall hasn't gotten practice reps on defense recently. Hasn't gotten practice reps. Can't even get reps in practice, color. Holy crap. It's been so long since Channing has gotten any reps on defense that he's doing a good job on special teams, Fangio said. Still think he's a good player with good potential in his future. guy can't even get reps, so he's getting reps on special teams, but he can't do anything in defense. It's ridiculous.
Right, and that reasoning about being deep and all that, and not having to throw our draftees out there and all that. Like that would make sense if he was talking about any room besides the linebacker room. You know what I mean? Like we are not fixed at linebacker up at top. I mean,
we're not. Tyndall has played a grand total of 9 snaps on defense in his first 7 games this season. The same number he's played in 16 games last year. Tyndall is listed second team on the depth chart behind Jerome Baker, with Duke Riley listed behind David Long on the other inside linebacker spot. I think he's in a room full of good guys right now. Linebacker coach Anthony Campanelli. Okay, Campanelli. All right. Sorry, I'm not really good with last names. Apologize. That's the other part of his process where we have a lot of confidence. Me personally, I coach. Those guys have great degree of confidence in all of them. And then you gotta gink. You got a gink, it says, in there, who's kind of rotating around, playing outside, playing inside. So there's a lot of guys in there who have contributed, but he's just got to keep fighting for reps. At this level, the NFL, it works very every day. You're competing every day. He's around a bunch of good players, and his reps on the other side against the offense have been good. He's been playing physical. He's been playing fast. Channing has got a ton of ability. I know I've said that in here a bunch of times before, and I still feel like it's a matter of time for him. Smith suffers a setback. Fangio has been asked about Smith on a regular basis, but he's almost left his weekly media session Thursday without the 2023 second-round pick being mentioned. But when he was asked, Fangio revealed that the reason Smith showed up on the injury report Wednesday as limited as an ankle injury, indicating he got injury very early in practice. Smith has gotten 4 reps on the defense the entire season, and that's with Jalen Ramsey sidelined so far because of the knee injury he sustained on the second day of training camp. So it's really difficult to envision Smith suddenly being trusted to handle snaps on the defense. Once he returns from the ankle injury then that Ramsey is expected back soon, along with Nick Needham. Also, the return of, after being activated off the PUP on Tuesday, to join Xavier Howard, Cater Kahu, Eli Apple, and Perry Nickerson. He's got to overcome that to continue his progress, Fangio said, but he's been getting reps and doing better. The bottom line, really, when it comes to Tyndall and Smith, is that Dolphins aren't really counting on them very much on defense this season. The hope is their time will come at some point. Listen, okay, this has been the most I've kind of like heard Cam Smith and Tyndall talked about in an article, specifically from Vic Fangio's mouth. It sounds like they have a lot of talent ahead of them, and it's going back into the process of what I was saying, or the precedent of what I was saying, that Fangio likes guys that have high football IQ. There are guys ahead of them that have so much experience already. Their IQ is a lot higher, so it makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's not that they don't have the talent, they don't have the speed and everything. It's just that Fangio in this season is going to trust the people that have the most experience, basically.
Yeah,
that's how I'm reading it. What do you think, Eller? What's your thought?
Well, can I say something real quick? One thing.
Yeah, I was going to go to you next, Jake. Go ahead.
But the one thing about this defense, and if you look at Bill Belichick's defense, the Flores defense versus him, the only people with high IQ that Bill Belichick covets is the middle linebacker and the strong safety teams that are going to align the free safety teams that are going to align their positions. But for the most part, if you look at J.C. Jackson, why he didn't do anywhere, he gives assignments. This is what you're going to do. He thinks for them. Versus whatchamacallit, Vanjo, he wants players to think in the moment. So you know what I'm saying? Kind of be free roamers. So
Yeah, he
yeah,
he wants them to have like he wants them to rely on their instincts and be able to project where the offense is going, and so they know where to go. They have to figure it out for themselves. It's
Yeah.
not a, hey, I need you to cover this gap and you have to cover this gap, and that's what you do for this defensive call right now. You know what I mean? It's not like that. So I definitely understand that premise. Keep going though. I didn't mean to take your thunder.
no, yeah. And he says, hey, look, like for instance, Bill Belichick, hey, we take this away, they're useless. So that's just focus on that. Just that's all you need to do is that. That's the whole game, and that's what they do. And unfortunately, with Vic Fangio, it's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah, I definitely understand. I mean, I get it. I mean, at least I understand what what they're looking at and why. I guess there's a lot of people ahead of them that are just that much better, I guess. But how do you expect them to kind of show you what they got if they can't even get defensive snaps? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it's kind of like. It's kind of like when and this goes back to like how they run their practices. Kind of concerns me because remember last year we had the injuries to quarterback, and then come to find out the backup quarterbacks were getting hardly any snaps at all, if any. You know what I mean? And that's why they look like they did, because they got no no chemistry or no repertoire with running snaps. So of course it's going to look really ugly at first. Well, that's the same thing with defensive players. I feel if they don't get the snaps, they are not going to be able to build that IQ that you're needing out of these players. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
It's like when you get out of college real quick. When you get out of college, and you're applying to a job. Oh, sorry, we need experience. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to get experience if I never get to work at it? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Color. You wanted to say something.
And the internship was born. Because that's about the only way Shake is an internship. You know what I mean? Work for free.
Yeah,
exactly. But that being said, I mean, I don't know what the snap counts are, even on special teams, but it occurred to me that, I don't pay attention to, it's not like I sit there and pay attention to every kickoff and every punt return, or punt to see who's in the game and who's not. I usually do that during training camp. I mean, during the season, it's not the first thing on the top of my mind. Well, however, when it comes to the name on the jersey that I've witnessed, that I came across on TV during a game, it was Cameron Good, not Channing Tindall. And so I'd be curious to see what the actual snap counts are when they say, oh, well, he's still getting this and that, but I am seeing Good's jersey before his, which means even if Cameron Good is getting less snap counts on special teams than Tindall, he's obviously doing more with it because he's showing up on my TV screen. So he's involved with the tackle or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing his jersey on my TV. And I have yet to see Tindall's jersey on my TV the entire season.
Yeah, well,
that might just be coincidence, but it makes me want to go and look. Okay, I believe what Fangio is saying and all that about this particular player, but I'd also like to now go check snap counts to see what the reality is.
Well, the snap count
because it looks like Cameron Good's getting snap counts or getting practice reps or whatever. You know what I mean?
I understand. The snap count for Tindall we actually have. He's played a total of 9 snaps in the first 7 games.
And how about Good? Well, and specifically special teams, because obviously that's where both of these guys are only getting play right now. You know what I mean?
That was on defense. He's had 9 snaps. Let me see. Let me see if I can get the snap count. Keep going.
We called up Cameron Good all 3 times that we could, and then we signed him to the 53-man roster, which means obviously, and we kept him around from last season. So obviously we see something there for sure. That's not just blowing sunshine up us. I think Tyndall, I'm concerned with the answers they're giving, that like nobody expected it to be that much of a project. And now it is. You see what I'm saying? That's what it seems like to me. And they're trying to formulate their answers in a way without admitting that.
Yeah.
And I only say that because of look, if we're talking about the horses in the stable in the secondary for Cam Smith, okay, I get that reason. But bro, the horses in the stable at linebacker leave a lot to be desired, and that was the reason we drafted a couple in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So if those guys if one of those two ain't day one start, I don't expect Cam Good to be a day one starter. He was a late round pick. But if neither one of them are day one starters, then we're in the same boat we've always been. And we're now they just don't want to outright say, yeah, we drafted another project. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously everybody knows that Chris Greer don't want to own up to a bad draft pick, apparently.
So Cameron Good, just so you're aware, has had 24 snaps on defense.
See what I mean? That's the guy getting the action.
On special teams, he's had 116, I guess. Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if is this for the year or what is this for?
Now,
this
to be fair,
snap counts include all regular season games in 2023.
Okay.
This is on Pro Reference. So I trust
now,
Pro
at
Reference.
the same time, to be fair, they are two different linebackers. In other words, they're in two different functions in our scheme. So Good practices with Chubb and Phillips at pass rushing and all that. Tyndall practices with Baker and all them other guys, as coverage linebackers. You see what I'm saying?
So
and stuff like that. So
what's interesting
that may be the reason for the difference in snap count, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. What is also interesting is Cam Smith has only had 4 snaps at defense and 96 snaps on special teams. Channing Tyndall has had 9 snaps on defense, but only has had 96 special team snaps. So
as opposed to 100 and something from Cam Good.
Yeah. Cam Good has had more defensive snaps and special team snaps than both of them.
And he was what, 6th, 7th round pick? 6th round pick?
Yeah.
He was an afterthought.
It is a different position, so position could make the difference. You're right. Yeah,
I mean, he body type wise, he emulates Jalen Phillips, whereas Tyndall, he's a tall guy, but he's still not that type of linebacker.
Yeah.
And maybe they ought to try him there. Maybe they ought to put him on some edge rushing and see what happens. I don't know, but
I don't think he's long enough. I don't think he's long enough.
Right. I thought he was taller than Good, but Good stands almost as tall as Jalen Phillips. I didn't even realize that till I saw him in camp.
Yeah, let me actually look. Cameron Good is...
If they take their helmets off and cover their jersey number, you almost might not be able to tell them apart. They even have a similar hairdo.
Yeah, Cameron Good is 6'3", just so you're aware. And Tyndall is 6'2", so he's only an inch shorter. I guess that might work. He might be able to.
And if I remember, I thought Tyndall had some pretty long arms. I could be wrong.
I was wishing I wish I could get the wingspan on him.
Right, or reach or something. Right.
Let me.
They don't give us the tail like in boxing. You know what I mean?
I'm looking to see if they had anything.
By the way, while you're doing that, and we're rounding out to 10 minutes or so left. I did want to. I know Jay's been, and Jay is our stunt. Jay is the official TFTG offensive line coordinator.
Yeah.
Because this dude has been screaming about the offensive line consistently through all the offseason, and still to this morning saying, ringing the bell, what are we doing, people? And he's absolutely right. So I wanted to give him a little bit of a couple names to banter around, because he was talking about a couple names in chat. And, you know, I was watching Kyle Crabb's Locked On Dolphins podcast the other day, and he went over a couple of the teams that might be sellers at the deadline, and also positions that we'd be looking at. And he touched on the money involved for each of these players and what it would take to get them, how easy or how hard it would be. But he didn't really touch too much on their performance. But there's one name I thought was fairly interesting that stood out over all of them, was offensive lineman Daniel Brunskill from Tennessee. Now, Daniel Brunskill is 30 plus years old, so he's a little long in the tooth, but he is formerly of San Francisco. Plays left guard, right guard, and center, and he's familiar with the Shanahan system, you know, with at least their West Coast system. And the GM, I guess, at Tennessee was with McDaniel, I believe, in one of his other places, either San Fran or whatever. Like, he's friends with McDaniel. So this guy, Daniel Brunskill, could be somebody, one of those names that we see coming in the next few days, as Miami may be making a play for with Tennessee at offensive line.
Yeah. I have the
name in mind,
wingspan,
Daniel Brunskill.
Yeah. I have the wingspan.
I don't know what his, go ahead. I was going to say, I didn't know what his grades are and all that, if you want to give a look. But yeah, go ahead with the
wingspan. Channing Tindall's wingspan is just over 77 inches, right? And Cameron Good's wingspan is just over 81 inches. So
wow.
Yeah, it's about 4 inches longer. Yeah, so it's interesting. Their height is only an inch apart, but you know, the wingspan's just a little bit different.
Right. Also, keep in mind on the Brunskill thing, you're talking about a Tennessee offensive lineman, and let's be real. I know they have Henry and all that, but they're used to having some success in the running game in Tennessee past few years. So, you know, keep an eye out for this guy, Daniel Brunskill. That's how you cut your teeth. You throw a name out like that, you make your stand, and if we pick him up, I look like a genius, right?
You know where he was at? Daniel was at the 49ers. That's how he knows him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was with the 49ers, but so was the GM. Their GM has ties to McDaniel. I thought it was from San Fran. Again, I'd have to go back and watch the podcast again, and you know, check out Kyle Crabb's Locked On Dolphins, everybody. He does a really good job. He don't need my promotion help, but still a good show and good work.
Daniel Brunskill was also at Atlanta with McDaniel. So he definitely.
And we all know that McDaniel likes those old worn gloves that he's used to. That's why we have Mostert and Wilson here. That's why we have Craycraft here. That's why we had Sherfield here. You know what I mean? So McDaniel has proven that he likes old friendly gloves. You know what I mean?
What position does this guy play? Center?
He I think he's listed as a guard, but he plays left guard, right guard, and center his whole career.
Interesting. He's a
California. And I know people don't like to hear multiple positions like that from an offensive lineman. That usually means he sucks at all three of them. But we're not talking about a slouch here. This guy's been in the league a while. You know, he's been in good systems. And you're talking about a guy that knows those three positions because of experience, not because he's a jack of all trades. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like he has an in-depth understanding of offensive line altogether, you know? So could be a valuable addition here going, you know, through the rest of our run. especially with Wynn on the IR now.
Yeah. Do you guys have a concern at left tackle at all? I don't.
Not really. I mean,
People
and
keep
again,
bringing
I
up.
don't know with this guy. I don't know if he's ever played any tackle. It just Krabs
Yeah,
just
no.
mentioned left guard, right guard, and center.
I think the issue right now, the only concern I've had with tackle positions, actually not, I don't have any concern with the tackle positions. I have concern with the the left guard position. That's the position that's been kind of our Achilles heel a little bit. So when Isaiah Wynn was there, it was okay, but you know, getting injured and stuff.
And that's the other thing about a guy like Brunskill. You know, if he's got history with McDaniel, you're talking about plug and play almost. You're not, you know, when you're talking about disrupting continuity or preserving continuity and all that, a guy that has an integral knowledge of the system and the coach is a little better an option to throw into the continuity than some other yahoo that we've never even heard of before or never has worked with us or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look for that to be a real possibility. If we do anything on the offensive line at all before the deadline, I am staking my claim it's going to be Daniel Brunskill. It's just too easy. You know. Now, the money-wise, I don't really know. I kind of got distracted when Krabs was talking about the money involved for a guy like him, but I don't think it would be that hard to obtain him.
Yeah, that's true.
The other name is obviously Derrick Henry, out in that neck of the woods, but apparently there's a few suitors now getting in on the mix, so likely the Derrick Henry trade package will be too much for us to want to deal with. You know, Krabs had said, hey, if you throw something at Tennessee cheap and they take it, good. You know what I mean? But after that, I saw some reports that about 4 other teams are interested. So I'm like, yeah, we're not going to get in a bidding war for Derrick Henry. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Derrick Henry, they're saying the Cowboys are the sleeper team to get him.
Right. Yeah, that's
and
what Krabs
it's
was
coming down to how much money Tennessee will have to still carry. That's the only way they'll make it happen.
That's going to be the question for even for us if we were to look at him. How much do you want to?
Yeah.
There's another guy that's in that situation, Eddie Jackson, safety from the Bears, I believe. Hold on. No, he's from the Bears. But he's owed close to $16 million next year.
Yeah.
So if we don't get him on just a rental or whatever, we would have to like say, okay, how much of that 16 million would Chicago be willing to take on? Do we need to give them an extra draft pick or two to have them take on some of that money? That was just a name thrown out by Krabs too. Eddie Jackson, safety from the Bears. Now that we got possible issues upstairs with Holland, you know what I mean? We found ourselves really quickly when Holland got injured. Like, wait a minute here. We got 2 safeties, or all of a sudden we realized how thin we were at safety. If you kind of think of it that way, you know what I mean? Holland's been pretty good and been pretty stout, but if he's starting to show, I mean, look, it's just a concussion. I get it. It's happens to everybody.
Yeah.
It speaks nothing to what his durability is. I'm not trying to say that. But dang, if he goes down in a game, do we have a gaping hole right there now at safety? You know what I mean?
So, per Adam Schefter, Dalvin Cook is talking to his agent to secure a trade.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Dalvin Cook is talking to his agent to secure a trade from the Jets.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
He's very upset about his reduced role. Oh,
what did he think was going to happen here?
Dude, that team already had Breece Hall. He was going to have a reduced role regardless. Brees Hall is in my opinion a much better running back right now than Dalvin Cook is.
Right. Well, remember, the only reason they brought Dalvin Cook in, well, I shouldn't say the only reason. According to the Jets beat writers and pundits, they brought Dalvin Cook in because they were not sure at the time if Brees Hall was going to be good to go for the first part of the season.
Mhm.
So they were willing to spend that kind of money on Dalvin Cook to make sure that they had a superstar at running back to work with Aaron Rodgers for the first part of the season until Brees Hall came back. That was literally a splurge on their part to make sure that they had a superstar at that position to start the season. Turns out Brees Hall healed up quicker than they thought and took the lion's share of the load, especially since Aaron Rodgers got hurt. And now Dalvin's relegated to, old veteran back that's only getting a carry or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was pretty much plan B.
Mm-hmm. And plan A ended up working out. Sort of like what happened with Cedric and Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
Like we brought in Cedric, that was our move. And then Tyreek became available, and we're like, well, now that's our move. You know what I mean? And we kind of shafted Cedric out. Ain't no wonder Cedric's been in his feels. I get it. No excuse, but it's understandable. And now I think that he's finally coming around and realizing what the score is and what time it is in Miami. Oh, lo and behold, he's producing. Look at that catch the other day. You know what I mean? Like, wow, what do you know? Old Cedric's back. But I don't know. Would you even entertain something like that at this point, Ali? I know we don't want to just go right into the Dalvin Cook fire, but at the same time, we're starting to get really thin at running back now, too.
Well, I do think we are thin at running back. I would consider it maybe, but I'm not giving up anything like substantial to be 100%.
It's all we have the leverage now. Absolutely.
I'll give the
Dalvin
6th
Cook
or
has lost
7th
every
round
bit of
draft
leverage.
pick, something like that. In fact, it'll be a 2025 6th or 7th round draft pick. That's what I would give. And that's where I'm at. If I were to consider it, we're still going to get Achane back off the injury injured reserve. Right when we need him. So
yep, Wilson Wilson hasn't been playing, so it's not like he's gotten hurt again. I mean, he should be healthy and ready to go at any time we're ready to tap him.
Yeah, but we don't know what to expect, though. That's the thing. Are we getting the Wilson that we had, last year?
I suspect timing is everything on that, Ali. If he comes back in quietly, like in, let's say, like a game like this week, he could get right back in the groove and remind us all why we brought him here in the first place.
It'd be funny though. I would love to see the Jets trade Dalvin Cook back to Minnesota. They trade
That's
for him.
They could use him too after beating the Bills or the Niners last week. They're 3-4. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, or 3-5. You know what I mean? Like in their division, especially now that the Lions are showing somewhere. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest, if it was me, I would the three positions that I would love to see addressed by Halloween, because that's I believe the deadline. It's going to be middle linebacker, inside linebacker, right? I know that hurts Channing Tindall's spot, but we need size there really bad, bro. And I don't like seeing Van Ginkel having to rotate between both. I think he's a much better outside linebacker than he is inside, just my opinion. And I think that you need to address the offensive line, specifically the guard position. We've had too many injuries and people rotating in and out of that position a lot. So we're kind of thin there. And then in addition, maybe the third position in that order I would bring would be maybe a running back, possibly. Like I said, we don't need to spend tons of millions of dollars.
Exactly.
You can go if you can secure a trade for Dalvin Cook for a 2025 6th or 7th round draft pick, so be it. Okay, I'll take that. Otherwise, I don't mind signing Leonard Fournette for a 1-year.
Oh yeah, playoff Lenny's still out there. Yep.
And you could pick him up. But that's where I'm at. We don't necessarily need the burner at running back, but we need somebody that is solid in the 3rd and 1.
We need somebody that's going to hurt a defense. We need somebody that is going to physically hurt a defense, even if they only get 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of in favor of making a play on Henry, but it's like, what are you going to do? I'm not that adamant about it. I'm just saying that, God,
I would look at Henry just for that fact too. I mean, to be honest, and
we're up by 4 points, bro. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry is a one-man push.
Bro, think of it this way. Think of this. If it's 1st and 10 on the 10-yard line, first and goal on the 10-yard line, right? You give it to Derrick Henry, you know that it may not be the first down, but by 2nd or 3rd down, it's definitely getting it.
Yep. And that's the other thing. Forget salting the game away. Forget the red zone. How about the fact that you're always going to be in 2nd and 4, 3rd and 2? You know what I mean? Because of that guy. I mean, the guy can he can fart 2 yards. You know what I mean? I mean, he literally is a one-man tush push.
Hold on one second.
Sure thing. Hey, while you're away, I'm going to touch on something I realized last night, and I don't know if you all noticed it. Shake, you can get in on this too.
Yes, what's up?
Did you notice who it was that sacked Josh Allen towards the end of the game last night?
I didn't watch the game, so.
No? Oh my God. So we're at camp this year. Went to camp a couple times. One with Ali, one with Capitan. We were all over camp this year.
Yes, what's up?
And even preseason games. There was one guy in one of our preseason games that ended up sacking the quarterback. I forget which game it was, but he was balling out, getting in the backfield, great pass rusher, and he was a nobody, undrafted free agent that we picked up off the street. And his last name was Nelson. You remember that guy? Tall, white dude that was balling out? We ended up cutting him. And he sacked Josh Allen last night for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Damn.
Can you believe that? And he was all over the field last night. I'm like, Nelson, where do I know that name? Oh, that's right. We cut him from our practice squad, from our preseason squad.
Yeah.
And he's out there sacking Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make this stuff up, man.
Gotcha.
Who is our talent evaluator at linebacker? That's what I thought he was listed as a linebacker, but he was playing in more of an edge rush role last night, more of a D tackle role. You know what I mean? But the guy was all kinds of disruptive.
Last thing I want to talk about real quick, because then we got to shut it down, bro. I got to get to work.
Yeah.
Question for you. What do you guys think about that Hail Mary that Baker Mayfield threw? It was catchable, bro. Had the receiver
it was perfect.
Dude, oh my God. I honestly thought they were going to get it at that point, because before the ball landed, you could see where the receiver was. I was like,
and you saw, just like they said on the network, if Godwin would have turned down around a little earlier, that ball would have fell right into his lap with no coverage.
Yeah, it was nuts.
When have you ever seen a Hail Mary hit the ground without anybody touching it, bro?
Dude, all he had to do, had he just looked up like a little bit sooner, he would have seen it and be able to grab it. He could have
adjusted his body to the right, and it would have just fell right in his lap.
It was. Oh man, how
that close, bro, to beating Buffalo. So there you go.
That was a weird game, bro. There was some, helmet
and the fact that they still had enough time in the end to get it to pull out a win. It's like, what is Buffalo doing, bro?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But anyway, make sure you hit the like button. Appreciate like and subscribe over here on YouTube. Donate to the Fins Tailgate. We appreciate it. Whatever donations you guys provide. It looks like we got one. Did you guys already? Oh, that was a member. We got Rosalind,
Yeah,
right?
new member from the other day. It was still showing up in our chat, I believe.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I don't know about late night exhale because my kid is surprising everybody and coming from out of town. So I don't know.
Well, we'll do it one way or another. We've been holding it down pretty good.
All right. Well, if you want to rock and roll that,
keep working on yourself, Ali. It'll be there when you come back.
you gotta understand. My kid lives in Georgia, so when she comes down, I have to make myself
you're all
available.
right.
You know,
You're just fine, man. You've still been popping in though. It's not like you've been ignoring it.
Thank you, Manalo. I can't wait. I'm gonna wear this mask to the game. It's gonna be nuts. Right? I'm gonna be scummy in the stadium for once. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there for sure.
Yeah, man. I would love if I hope to run into you, and I'd like to meet Larry K. That would be pretty dope.
I'll bring him by the tailgate for sure.
Yeah, I personally don't really have the energy for this week, but I mean, I would if somebody was like, "Here you go, color," just to make sure I'm there. But I just don't have any desire to put in the energy this week, man.
I hear you.
I don't know why. Well,
so
the turnaround time, Ali, it's not worth it for New England, to be honest with you.
Yep. But anyway, Monday we'll go strong, hardcore Monday. We'll start top of the tailgate. I know we're gonna have a lot of talked about. That's Chief week, right? We're playing the Chiefs next after this week, right?
Yeah.
We are.
Germany. And if you don't know, the Germany games are going to be a lot earlier on TV. I want to say it's a 9 a.m. game, right? I could be wrong.
It should be, yeah. I mean, they are another hour ahead, so it could be a little earlier, but I think they'll just play it later there and still broadcast it at 9:30 here.
Let me take a look at that real quick. Miami versus.
And I don't want to hear no jet lag excuses because the Chiefs got to come from an extra hour behind than we do. So don't be throwing that excuse out there because the Chiefs will just one up us on it.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, and here we go. 6:30 a.m.
Here?
That's
no way would they started that early here.
No, here it is. I believe this is it. Let me pull this up. I think it's a 9:30 a.m. game. Let me verify that real quick. All right, here we go. Kansas City, 9:30 a.m. on NFL Network.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because it would be like an afternoon game over here in the playoffs. You know how they usually start them at 3:30 instead of 4? So that game would be having to start at 3:30 over there. So that's about the same as an afternoon slate game for them.
Man, you can't get people to go to watch a Jets game if their life depended on it. I'm looking at all the other tickets for the Miami Dolphins, right, and what they start at, and the starting price, and the Jets game at Jets Stadium, right? So this is at New York Jets. $72.
Wow,
that's what they start at, right? In retrospective, we'll go to a Miami Dolphins home game, and I will give you
same team, Jets.
Same team, Jets, $150. The Dallas game, guess how much starting tickets are? You ain't going to the Dallas game, I don't think. Yeah,
I already got mine, Ali.
You got the Dallas game? I'm gonna be there, bro. So it's awesome.
I bought them like a month ago. Yeah, I had already mentioned it to you, and you're still on the fence as to whether you're going to have room for us or not. So I
have to find out.
Just let me know as soon as you know, because we still have to get a parking pass if we don't. So we don't want that to keep getting more expensive. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But other than that, that's all we're waiting on is to get a parking pass. So
I'll find out. I'll find out tomorrow. I see my friend. I'll find out from him and make sure it's still cool.
Sounds good.
Everything. So
sounds good, because that still gives us plenty of time to get one if we need to.
Right
now, the only thing you can buy from the Dolphins is and the only current parking passes you can get from the Dolphins are the yellow ones that are off site.
Yeah,
Wait though. If you buy yellow pass, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter where you are, as long as you're in the yellow area.
But they don't call them yellow. but they are considered yellow, but they're
Well,
off-site. They're like Walmart parking. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you. That's kind of a walk.
They're the same category as yellow as far as pricing goes and all that. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
why they call it yellow, but it's not really yellow.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. All right,
I mean,
ladies
I
and
guess you
gentlemen.
could try that. You never know. I guess if you get there
Yeah.
early enough, maybe they won't even notice.
That's true. All right, gentlemen. Well, it's 8:17. I really got to let you guys go.
all right.
Telling you.
Any final thoughts? Shake Money, you got anything for us?
Yeah, tonight drive time. The red coats are coming. Open panel. And that's pretty much it. I'll see y'all tonight.
Well, you
All
heard
right.
them. Tonight on prime time, the tampons are coming.
Mhm.
Used tampons to be exact, but that's okay. You can call them red coats, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. Man, that sun is bright. You see that? Oh my lord, right in my face. Anyway, you all have a good night. It's appreciative. Color, got anything for us?
No, I'm pretty much wrapped up. Like I said, look for old Daniel Brunskill. That might be our move.
Daniel Brunskill. All right, man. I'll keep an eye out on it. That's an option.
And then
you
you
have
Russo.
us scoring 34 points against the Pats this week.
34 points. Well, with Tyreek, I am gonna up my if Tyreek's definitely playing. If he's definitely,
I had us at 34 without Tyreek.
well, I had us around 32, right? Well, actually, it was around 28. I said 28 to 32. I'm gonna
Because
up
I
mine.
actually thought we were gonna take it as a chip on our shoulder and prove we can put up points without him. You know what I mean? That's what I thought.
Where are you at right now, Color? Real quick, where are you at?
34.
34. I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna say 38. 38 points.
All right.
That's one up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
39.
Ooh, 39. There you go. We got 39. We got sold to the man with the orange shirt.
$1.
All right. Anyway, you all have a good day. It's appreciated. Thank you for holding it down, Color. Thank you, Shake. Thanks everybody. Hit likes and subscribe. Pins up.
Pins up.